Go live. I just went live.
Oh,
Did we screw up the Instagram?
yep. Just have to, once you go live on the thing, then you have to go to Instagram and
Nice.
yay! Hey. So we're live to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Voltaire.
Isn't that the truth?
I watched that video the other day.
All right. So we are live to all of these lovely spaces, and we are live in person. I'm going to. Should I just start with the line acknowledgement and stuff, or do you want to wait a bit, Rich?
What's our line acknowledgement?
So I'm going to begin with the line acknowledgement, and then we'll get our inspirations and start the art making. So this is the 568th time we've gotten together. This is our acknowledgement of where we get together. The Creator gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share and care for together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on Wakinstis is the ancestral territory of the Siksika Sitapi, the Siksika, Kainai, Piikani, and the Amskapi Piikani. We acknowledge all First Nations and Métis of Treaty 7 lands, the Tsuut'ina, the Ithkabe, which includes Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Goodstoney. We commit to advancing reconciliation guided by truth, respecting treaty laws, and humbly walking alongside First Nation, Métis, and Inuit. We recognize all who live, work, and play on these lands and who now call this place home. So welcome. We are, this is the 568th time we've gotten together. I'm going to, it's a lot. That's a lot of time. I'm going to put some books down. So it's a very nice night out. The front door is open.
People are coming through the door.
They are. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Dusty. So joining us from their studios, we have Theo, Dusty, and Kelly.
Yay.
Yay! So when you're watching from home, you can see what they're doing from their home studios.
Did you ask people to share it, Blake?
Oh, yes. Please. I said we're live to those places, but and I didn't share either.
I love it. I'm a good boy.
Yay!
Thank you, Neil.
Okay, I shared it. Wonderful. Huh? Oh, yeah, sure. So first piece of inspiration comes from the Mabinignon, which is background. We have the
Mabagibian.
the
Give him the Magnon.
we just have fun saying it. So I was reading about Rhiannon in preparation of the book that I was writing. Sophia was asking how the travels go of the book, and the goddesses have made it to Portugal, and they are now their way across.
You need more backstory there.
I wrote a book, and it is the goddess Alpha, and they are magical goddesses that have been shipped from their beginning origins in India, and now they rounded the Horn of Africa, and now they're coming up. They're in Portugal today, and now they're coming across the Atlantic. And it was an epic scene because there has been all of the rerouting of the transportation because out of India because of attacks in the Red Sea. So it's been an epic journey, and so I was so excited when Lori shared that that the books have made it to Portugal, which is really lovely. And now they're coming across the Atlantic, and they're going to come into Montreal. So that's very exciting. And so yeah, so Rhiannon is one of the characters in the story, and I can't say her husband's name.
Is it Flavnagugnigoog?
Maybe. Oh, Kyle, I have to show you something after. I have a cute story to tell you.
Okay.
I just saw you, and if I don't say that out loud, I'm going to forget.
So like that started as a new
Continue. Rhiannon. So there's a really intense story of
So that's how that was the last
Rhiannon
semester.
eventually having a child with her husband, and she left her with the maids, and the maids let her child go missing in the middle of the night, and instead of getting in trouble themselves, the maids made a horrible story that Rhiannon killed and ate her own kid. And so she's kind of like has this magical story about being a white witch, and rather than like, I don't know, being mad or sit, like she said she didn't do it, she was like baffled why they would say that, but she kind of took her punishment. The king didn't get rid of her in any way. He just said, hey, well, this is the way it is. She's going to stand by the front gate and tell people what she's done as people enter the town, and give them piggyback rides into town like a horse. Like this is like she's a horse goddess, and she's this white witch. And so this is like this tale that has followed her in this book of taking on this punishment of telling this thing that she didn't do to her kid, and also grieving the loss of her child at the same time, and taking the punishment of having to ride people in on her back into town, because she was a very substantial and strong woman herself, but she did it all without complaining. This is the story anyways, and because she knew she wasn't guilty. So I thought that was a pretty wonderful lesson to learn, is to have that much integrity that you just take on this whatever they throw at you. And eventually the son was actually brought back, and because he was just taken and returned when he was older. He grew up with farmers, and the farmers were like, well, this actually looks remarkably like the king, this young boy. And so they brought him back, and then the queen Rhiannon was justified in that she didn't do it, and returned to her home, and she didn't do anything bad to anybody. She just like said, see, I told you, and just went back to living her life. And I thought that was a really wonderful, like how the story is told too. It's just so matter of fact. I feel like that's a Welsh thing, is like just everything they said was just so extreme, but like very very matter of fact how they stated it. But I really liked the amount of integrity she had. So yeah, so that's the first piece of inspiration is Rhiannon, the white witch, the horse goddess. Second piece of inspiration comes to us from the pop-up book, Stephen King pop-up book, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon.
Militantly.
Actually, yeah. First inning.
So was Rhiannon the first theme? Is that
Yeah,
right? Okay.
Rhiannon is the first theme. And then the second theme comes from Stephen King, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon.
That's funny. I was listening to
The Shining.
The Shining when I picked it up tonight. Yeah.
It's a pop-up book. And anytime there's a pop-up book, that's really nice. So there's two people, and they're going in to the woods, it looks like. And it says, first inning. Mom slammed the back of the van shut. She'd parked in a dirt lot in western Maine, not far from New Hampshire line. Today's outing was a 6-mile hike on the Appalachian Trail. rated moderate on the map Mom now unfolded. We're here. We follow the trail like so and end up in North Conway parking lot where a van brings us back. So the second piece of inspiration is maybe embarking on the Appalachian Trail. Or it could be Stephen King. Adventure. And the last piece of inspiration comes to us from our cards. Oh my.
You know what's crazy?
What?
It was impacted here last month. We were $1,900 short. It's empty here right now. We're actually doing pretty well this month.
Okay. How apropos. Our first piece of inspiration is Rhiannon. Second piece of inspiration is embarking on a journey into the Appalachian Trail. And then we have the bear. And what a beautiful image that is. So the bear, power, leadership, and strength. And I love seeing all of the video of all of the bear coming out of their hibernation. So those are pretty wonderful
He's feeding the hikers.
of inspiration. Oh yeah, that are on their trails. So we got Rhiannon, and we got adventures, and we got the bear.
And then I feel bad.
So we are going to make art, and we are going to have an auction at 9. We're going to make art and have an auction at 9.
So we drive out to like Kansas or Banff Trails.
And I'm gonna go show Kyle something.
Usually we got lost.
Is that a thing or just you think to me?
Is what we call it. I'm sure people do that also.
I go urban. Like I get out my front door and I'll walk 30 kilometers through a city. I like hiking.
I'll be right back.
I want to stop for a Starbucks, I can.
Yeah.
I teach fixed
Yeah.
and this is like, I've taught this one class for like 5 years, like since third grade one. Like I know a lot of them very well, and they just like come into the class, like grab stuff, and just start making like a lot of them just go through like, what this kid's do this year, and they're just like, what's wrong right now? Like just kind of just like breaking stuff. I'm like, like I will give you any art supply. And then he came in, and I have like actually I have your piece, I've just bought your piece with the reflective.
Oh, the
And I had it up along the whiteboard. He was like, "Can I buy that from you?" Yeah, that's about yours earlier. I was like, "No, like you can't just buy my stuff." I should have just let him to like get him on my class, but he comes and he like looks at every single time he looks. He's like, "Can I buy that from you?" I was like, "No." And then he's like, "Can I draw off that? Can I draw on the desk?" And he asked like, he is sweet in the way that he asked like touch it. But then I had scratch boards, so I was like, "Hey, you want to like like a print of anything like that you see?" Or then we're trying to do like something. I had scratch boards.
So we got rid of the table that would drive.
Oh my goodness.
Got rid of the table that was driving nuts.
For all the
He just did it freehand. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then today he came into class, and I just had like 3 on the table waiting for him. And then he just keep going. He's like, he came up at
we got rid of like 3 dumpsters.
2. I was like, "Yeah." Like,
Does it feel good?
Scratch board.
Yeah, I was loving it. I had a lot of anxiety and anger and rage.
Yeah.
Did the scratch board and he had rings with it.
Yeah.
Not having any aggressive.
He was
That's
like,
so
Oh my God.
impressive.
"Yeah."
I know what you're
I was like so happy. Yeah.
Were you thinking you were going to?
What is that?
Well, I just on a whim, like, hey, we're done. And that was like really like.
Talking about the different brands, he's like, "Hey."
Some of his edges.
I said it.
Yeah.
I do.
I encourage it too,
Keep quitting the industry, like, oh, this is the last painting I'm ever gonna sell. I know that's sad, and then they do it again. Kind of like the case that needs to be had the last tour a few times.
Kids just had a million farewell tours.
Right. And there's also like 5 Kiss bands.
Hello,
and all that
Jesse.
stuff. So I didn't want to say that we were
Welcome.
gonna close if we weren't.
All
Yeah,
right.
after the reason they did that, I was like, no, I'm not acting.
Lots.
And then, yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis though is probably the best of them. But
Things are going well.
I didn't want it to be a ploy,
Hope things
Yeah.
are going
and I worried I might
nice
end
now.
up regretting it. Like,
Well, I
changing
guess
my
yesterday the
mind.
weather was still kind of weird, but the sun came
Do
out.
you, in general, that's related to it, but just this is a curiosity. Do you, in general, find yourself realizing or considering that you have talked yourself into believing something that you don't actually believe?
Never.
Never know.
No, I don't have that.
I do that.
Jesse does that. Ask her if I do that, because of course, if I was a psychopath, I would say I never do that. But I think my gift is that, and my curse is that I don't do that. I don't have self delusions. But if I did have self delusions, I'd be sure that I didn't. So, whenever I believe something, I force myself to choose the opposite belief, and then I pick between the two. And sometimes I can do a good enough job of forcing myself to learn the opposite belief that I can kind of like come close to a dual reality.
Mhm.
But usually I will pick between the two. And I find my instincts are smarter than I am. So, do you find you can? I think you've told me before that you do that.
Well, I was reading back. Do you remember talking me out of working for Holocaust deniers?
Did I work for Holocaust?
No, I was about to work for Holocaust
Yeah.
deniers, and you talked me out of it because I thought I could twist it.
Yeah, no.
You can't twist it.
I can't twist anything. I can't twist brushing my teeth. And you know, the only one I really know that has the same condition as me with that is Felix.
Mhm.
Possibly Oliver, but he's buried it if it's true. Like he's decided that was too much work. And Felix has a similar aversion to things that are potentially.
I think you can put anything on it.
Yeah, I'm never sure if I actually believe something or just possess enough vocabulary to justify it.
You know, I also say,
I
and I
don't
think this
want
might
you
be
to
an
cover all
issue.
the backgrounds. I don't actually think that's cool.
Probably our culture needs to teach most adolescents how to debate.
Mhm.
I think 2% of the population run the risk of becoming very good at debating and never learning anything new.
Right.
Because once you're good at debating,
Well, it's
nobody
very
can change your
addictive.
mind about anything.
Yeah.
Whereas I kind of like live in this nebulous area where I'm pretty much open to I think I feel my way through problems too,
Mhm.
right? So there's no talking me out of it. But in layers, I started to realize, like, oh shit, where am I going to park all my bikes? And you know, I started explaining to Felix, like, yeah, we're going to need to get some desks in the apartment because otherwise, how else will we, you know, draw once this is over? So there's certainly things I kind of expected to kind of creep up on me, but over and all, I've been really happy with them. More happy with the decision. Like it started out like an impulse decision,
Mhm.
and then it very quickly became the only thing to do. Jess, have you had any pangs or regret about announcing that we're closing? I think to some extent when it's really quiet at the beginning of the Rumble, I wonder if it was a mistake to be so candid that like, I wonder at what point people are going to say, oh, that place is closing, so why bother? Whereas if I said, if I hadn't been open and I said, oh, I'm gonna open up for 8 months, people are like, wow, that's great, 8 months. But when there's only 8 months left, to some extent, I'm worried that that might like create a level of,
There will probably be a bell curve. There will be a dip, and then there will be like the 3-month period before the end. Which will be a fucking explosion.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the summer will be pretty busy. And I think that
Those
fall will
last,
be
like you
pretty
said,
banging.
yeah.
And actually, the tough months are between January and June.
Right. Like this is the end of the hard time anyway. So yeah.
So I think we stand to lose about potentially 10 grand between now and next December.
Mhm.
But I also think we might make them at the end. Have you been in before?
No, I haven't.
You know what we did?
Is this the alcove thing?
No.
it's
Those
No
are our
idea.
cousins.
Every Wednesday we get together and people bring their artwork and we never know who's coming. And we're online too. So there's people joining from their studios all over the place. And then we make art from 7 to 9. And then at 9 o'clock we have a live auction.
not. That's awesome. Sorry, my husband's picking me up. So
Oh no, that's okay. Yeah.
That wasn't me. Okay.
So we've been doing this this is our 9 3/4 years.
Oh, cool.
We did a place called Gorilla House on it's right there the sign.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to stick the brush in your face.
no, that's okay.
We did that for a year and a half. So this is our 12th year doing this, and our 9.5 years in this building. And then we're gonna pack it in next December, so we have like 30 left.
This
26
December,
left. Yeah, this coming December.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's
Yeah.
it's our 568th Wednesday.
Wow, I know I've seen this advertised. I'm like, I want to go down there, but then I didn't because cold or whatever. I'm not a visual artist. I do other kinds of art, but
Neither
I
am I.
do draw and paint for fun.
Yeah.
Like I do it for fun.
Yeah, for your soul.
Yeah. I'll come and see Steven for sure. I just have to see Shadow Man.
For sure.
Under the table and before this is on watercolor paper, so I want to yeah.
Oh, Neil.
Yeah.
Do you camp?
Yeah.
Do you want a ground mat or a cot?
Like a low
They're
top.
back there.
Yeah, low cot.
I would consider that.
What would you do with it?
It's alright.
Sleep on it. What do you do with it?
It's
It was here for Felix.
Yes, we can't bring our very tiny little dogs.
Dogs are welcome.
dogs are totally welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Tonight,
Yeah, I'll take it.
there's a very good chance I'll give it to somebody else who don't take it. But, there's a clip there too. Perfect.
Are you gonna go someplace else after this? Or is it
Nah,
this
that'll
is
have
gonna
the
be it, or
trim
are you
on.
gonna-
We're gonna do a different
That would, I
thing
would regret.
after this.
Well, then again, actually, that would be really cool.
We were resisting
It's
broadcasting
surprising.
over COVID. We had to broadcast, and then now we do a split so that
Yeah.
this is online. And so for the witness protection program, don't go from the camera. But after this, like we just lived down the street. So Jess and I run
It's
this
very
space
soft inside.
with my son, and after this space, we're gonna move to more of a cheesy. It's gonna be kind of halfway between Mr. Dress Up and Muppets and Bob Ross. We're gonna do an online art show, same night, same time, live, with puppets and singing.
Oh, cool.
Every week, instead of
And
selling at the auction, which we have been doing for 12 years, we're going non-monetary. So every week we'll pick a person, place, or thing that's deserving of attention, and make an episode around supporting a person.
Oh, that's so
Make them an
cool.
original piece of artwork. At the end of the episode, Jess's mom, delivery Debbie comes in uniform, picks up the piece, wraps it, we mail it out. It'll go out with a
QR code.
QR code with the episode that we shot and contact if they want to contact us. So I'm just looking for a copy of my book, Jesse.
The color?
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Don't smash things.
Yeah, but selected.
This is my first book. I traded my royalty for copies, and then I gave copies away during COVID, and then when COVID was over, I built the addiction of sharing things for free.
Oh, wow.
It's
That's
a
why
gift.
we have to demonetize because we just like giving away stuff.
That's a beautiful spirit.
I think so.
Rich Thoreau. So you're a Thoreau?
Yeah, and actually the new project's called The Island of Rue.
Oh,
So the
cool.
word island and of are added to Teru, the island of Rue.
Okay.
But it's also built around soup, and it's also there's a number of metaphors that slide into that. But
Oh, it's Teru, not Thoreau.
it's
I
both.
see.
Teru is the anglicized version, I guess. My mom's English, my dad's French Canadian, but he doesn't speak. Do you speak French?
Oh, petit peu. I studied it in college and I went to Paris for
Can you say
6 months.
Teru with a French accent?
Teru,
Yeah.
So,
That sounds so much nicer than when I say it.
sounds like I'm clearing my throat when I do it. Sorry.
Thank you so much. It's my husband speaking.
Hey, that book is meant to color in.
Oh, thank you. You're giving this to me. This is
Yeah.
so lovely. Thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
night.
You too. I'm in this whole
That's my book that's coming out in June. So
you make it like a book? You transform it in a book?
so yeah, it's gonna be like it's actually in a hard like a real book. Like so I had it originally in a like
Yeah,
like
I know the
it's my
original.
fabric book, and then yeah, my publisher like photographed everything, and then I typed up actually because it was not very much writing. It was, and it would have been very thin. So she asked if I'd like to write more in it. So it's like doubled now, and I wrote a lot last summer, and now it's on its way here. So the release is in June.
I hope
Yeah.
to be there. If not, I will get a copy
You
from
probably
here.
have a
Oh,
better
definitely,
idea.
yeah. So yeah,
This is
we're
the price
doing.
for editor or for the book?
It's for the book because it's so like
But
big color. So well,
Do you have
it's like a
feeling
color
what's going
print,
on,
and
or
she
just
did it
a
like
seeing
she did such a
pattern?
beautiful job. So it's like the same size as the real one is. So it's like a
So here's
8x8.
what I learned
Okay.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the
and like she's planning a really beautiful event.
Holocaust.
Like we'll have
So I
probably
went to
still a release
the
here, but
different
she's
to learn
talking with
how to write
Memorial Library,
Right.
and we're gonna do like a
And
workshop,
I did
and
not-
I'll do like we'll have like a book release at the Memorial Library. I think we're talking to them,
Nobody
so.
knows.
I
Yeah.
cannot wait to see.
But-
Yeah, it'll be
I've been
really
looking
fun. I
I'm
think.
happy that I saw the
Yeah.
I really feel like
Isn't that fun? Yeah, it's different because it's so interesting to see it in
The
like
single
book
most
format.
frustrating
Like
thing that I find
that's
about
gonna
it
be
is
interesting
that
it's the same
it's
picture,
you
but
say-
another picture.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's
And she took
that
really
it
beautiful
shouldn't-
photos, but it's like
not-
yeah,
I
it's
guess
weird.
this is like
People should
part
suffer.
of-
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna go.
Yeah,
so
I
you're
think
saying
I
all
think it'll be
Jews
really
and
fun.
Israelis should die.
Ooh, cannot wait for it.
Thank
Yeah.
And the
you.
media does that too. The news does it.
Right. So here's what I discovered through ChatGPT about the Gaza Strip. Is what I like about it is I can ask really intense, convoluted questions, and it can hold on to all the threads. Right.
Yeah.
So I start a question, and it's actually I think my interest kind of comes from Star Trek, where it's like computer,
Hey,
Tell me about-
Ryan is here.
the Gaza Strip, and then I'm building
Oh, Qigong at the book launch too.
to my.
Oh, thank you, Laureen.
understanding of-
Yes, we're gonna have Qigong. Oh, it's gonna be such a nice event. That'll be really.
Asking really
I'm very
complex
excited
questions
about that.
that I find meets a lot of people. Maybe their interests or their concentration. But
I have to stop stabbing myself.
what I was able
When
to
I
come to- 'cause
squeeze
I
the
kind of
lime
have a
into our
feeling
soup
like
in the
here's
morning,
thing. If
really
I think
feel it.
something and I find out John Stewart thinks the same thing, I'm sold, right? There's a number of people whose ideological beliefs are so in line with mine on such a regular basis that I'll just take a lot of
I'm,
comfort from recognizing
stitching.
that they've said the
So
same
the
thing
second
as,
book that I was working on, the Book of
I
Everything,
also tend to
has
share
been
a
taken
lot of,
apart,
opinions with.
and I'm making
So-
it into a magical jacket. So
What-
I started
what
by sewing the
confuses me about
chakras down the spine of it, and
Gaza, Israel.
I stitched all of the pagan
people that I
celebrations
trust have
along the
really
bottom of it,
beliefs about the
and I'm
situation.
stitching all the planets.
And so you can't look
on
into
it.
all the, this
So it'll be
big
like
guy
my,
says, this
crazy
bad guy
person.
saying.
Magic jacket.
I guess my first question is, where do they have those buildings?
Yeah, so
I'm
here's what I
excited about
did, is I just started checking.
I love this idea, Jess. Crazy person magic jacket. Oh yes.
I'll show you.
Oh yes.
Because the more I can get on it, the more fun it'll be. But it's like the
Oh yeah.
oh, where's the there? So I'm working on the Earth right now, and then there's like Jupiter,
I think the healthiest man I ever have.
Saturn. But yeah, so those ones are still floppy. But and then I got Pluto because
And then
Pluto.
it looks like a kind of a dress jacket to begin with.
Yeah, it was like actually kind of like a cheap pea coat that I ordered from the internet.
Okay.
And I took the lining out so I could stitch everything on nicely, and then I'm going to put the lining back in. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's gonna be so divine.
thank you. I'm going to there was this image that I found when we were looking up the chakras. There's this image that we found that has like this spiral of energy. Spiral of energy flow.
Yeah.
I don't know if it came up on the computer screen, but it's like a spiral rather than so like different people have different like different groups of people have different understandings of the energy flow. But I like the idea of the spiral, and then I'm gonna do like stitch the spiral in and then the stars and everything around it. I think it's gonna be I think it'll be quite
Share DNA, but the
insane.
modern isms in
Will
there.
be magical.
It will be magical. Yeah.
But it was just a blind spot I had that I hadn't gone in. and
Hi
enjoyed
Scott,
it.
how are you? Nice to see you.
Yeah.
It was a blind spot where I hadn't conceived that this isn't a left-right thing, this is a.
How was your week?
Well, busy,
Which was
but,
dense.
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
yeah,
But
everything's good.
it's because I let
So
my
I
own
brought this
assumptions and my own,
Oh,
not just
fun.
biases, but the things that I'm cautious of.
But I didn't paint it, but I have permission to sell.
Oh, who?
Like
Yeah.
that's, she was the first gal that
Actually, the one that hit me
introduced me
today,
to Rodney here.
Oh my
Like, these
I
guys
didn't
Yeah.
gosh.
quantify things.
I recognize the name, and so I was like,
Lori, like,
If I were
Russell,
to
and
grade
then
it,
it was
school, I have no
Decay.
problem saying this is a 73.
that's awesome. Oh
Yeah.
my
I might
gosh.
Making
Yeah.
pie
Is there a
charts
story
for how
about who
wrong
this
I am.
lovely lady is?
well, it's cheap.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
This isn't about that.
I'm like not very
She's 30% right.
Yeah,
I'm
she
20%
painted
right.
it.
cool.
Beautiful, so
I
that's
have
kinda
no
good.
problem
And
quantifying
oh, that's so nice.
But I phoned her and she goes,
Um,
if you're not gonna hang it,
the reason we got the
Oh,
train
that's
from Jim
beautiful,
So,
Scott.
was
you
I
guys just-
speculated that train, like,
Whatever,
was
so.
worth,
That's very kind of you and Lori.
yeah.
Wow, look, I'll show the people at home. Look at Kate Bush.
Uh,
That's really
When-
sweet.
I think she did a pretty good job, you know.
It's beautiful. You know, I'm just not as familiar. I'm sure if I knew, like, because you know when you like hit certain like moments in time, where like my parents
Yes.
were like certain things. You know what I mean? Like, so I just missed that whole.
Yeah, she hasn't done, like, even when she was releasing albums,
Yeah,
it was like every 5.
like you had to be in the know a little.
Yeah, and she's English and
That's so
kind of
cool.
quirky.
I like that though.
Yeah. It's very good.
Turned out
Oh,
that,
that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
passing
Oh,
the
thank you,
I have no, I'm going through my stuff and things are starting to go, so I'm gonna be bringing this stuff, but
Oh, that's
I
amazing.
need more time.
Yeah. Oh no, this is wonderful. What
It's
a nice
something.
gift.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Here, so someone might be able to take lovely Kate Bush home tonight.
That'd be good.
Hi.
I thought it was-
Oh, that's what a lovely thing. Thank you.
How was your first week back?
It's been like really nice actually. Like
Yeah?
good energy. Yeah. Like
Excellent.
it's really nice because I think everyone kind of, as soon as you can feel the end coming, I feel like there's like hope. Like
Yes.
people have this like really good energy and they're like, I don't know, it's like new energy too because the spring and the weather and the sun's
Yes.
coming back. And
Renew. I'm feeling that way too.
yeah, it's so
Like,
nice.
it just feels like
like everyone's tired, everyone's doing their thing, but it like, but you feel okay. Like it's nice. Like yeah.
Like I've been going since like probably since
Instagram.
6:30.
Yeah.
And I got home.
One of
I
my tests was a percentile.
I know where I'm going.
And I got one
That's
question
awesome.
wrong.
Perfect.
I'm glad.
Yeah. No, I'll get.
That's wonderful.
Which I always assumed was the number for my IQ in terms of percentile. But I'm wondering how much I want to say from like that didn't kind of line up with my experience, right?
Mhm.
And so now the other thing is the test I got 98 percentile on it was because I got one question wrong. The question I got wrong, my mom was testing a test out on me. So she used to bring her IQ tests home and give them to me because she taught gifted ed.
Mhm.
And I got one question wrong, so I got 98 percentile. But when she was reviewing the test, she asked me why it was a comparison of this is to that, as that is to that. And I remember it had something to do with the swing set. And I had explained to her my rationale why I grouped the two groups. And she was kind of like, oh, actually, you know, in some ways that's more sophisticated than the right answer. So there was a flaw in the test, and that's what I was taking it, is they were looking for dualities in the test, and I found one where there was an even better explanation than they expected. Anyhow, for a lifetime I always thought it was in the 98 percentile.
Okay.
But I was just ChatGPT today to sort of hone in on those questions. And it kind of, worst case scenario, put me in the 99th percentile. Best case scenario in the 0.01 percentile, which was like super awkward to say, but it kind of fit like certain understandings that I speculated on.
How did we get here?
I was just telling you, like, I had a weird epiphany using the ChatGPT today.
Okay.
Because of numbers that never really lined up by two decimals.
Mhm.
Were assumptions that I made as a kid, and was too bashful to ever.
I actually wonder, I think
That is how childhood assumptions work.
I have this canvas that's kind of around all of these shapes. I think I'm going to,
But I mean,
either watercolor
not
them or
just in
stain
my
them
case, but in a lot of
so they don't
different
stand
cases.
out so much.
I was thinking about people that I really admired and where they sat. And I know these tests are bullshit, and everybody that has a high IQ prefaces that they know they're bullshit, and then they go on about how hard to do it. But in terms of just a benchmark, I see it as valuable as social media. Sometimes I do a painting and I know it's bullshit. I put it on social media and 100 people love it in 10 seconds. And, well, I might think that's bullshit. But I'm reaching something that I hadn't expected. I need to give this work another chance. Sometimes I think this painting is genius. And it doesn't get any feedback. And I think, well, it's just too good for anybody.
Right.
But I'm able to not be as dismissive with a lot of things if I have access to an opportunity to understand that this or that might be reaching people that I wouldn't have expected. So, anyways, I find it really useful. Opportunity to take what I think I know and erase it.
Mhm.
I also really like having long-winded conversations with a machine that doesn't judge me.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Did you bring Fred?
Of course I did.
Oh man,
Just like,
are you sticking around for a while?
sure.
I went and saw my house that I grew up in this summer, and the lady said I could go inside and look.
Right.
I was like, I'm not ready for that, and I'm excited about Fred Flintstone. Wait till the hard part of the evenings.
Oh, look, he donated this one to someone.
Well, I found a Yogi squeeze toy. That's from 1957. So I don't know where it came from, but I'm glad my parents kept it.
How did I even do that?
It's like sometimes on the whole brush. I don't know. Maybe
I always put Fred on a like a glass or something, and then he would just stand out
Love it.
like in my old house. So, where's Fred safe from paint? Nowhere? Maybe?
well in that alcove there behind where you're sitting, or
Right here? Like, is Fred safe there?
oh,
No.
you know that like window kind of thing behind you on the wall,
Oh,
Scott?
yeah.
Kind of in there, I think, is maybe the.
Rich, don't forget Fred.
Awesome.
It's like, oh, Fred.
Won't blame me, only if I do.
I'll be barring for them.
What happened with Fred and Barney just recently?
Well, they got divorced.
No, there was something else. I had a dream or something where,
Oh, really?
yeah, like it was a really bizarre dream. And maybe I had the dream from the perspective of Barney.
Oh, really? So it was kind of apt timing that I showed up with Fred. And,
I think it might have been a while ago, but
oh,
I had an
okay.
experience, a dream-like experience with Fred or Barney recently.
Nonetheless, when I found Fred, I honestly thought of you. Like, I don't know why.
Because I am Fred Flintstone.
No, you're not. Well,
Yeah.
Fred's pretty cool in my eyes.
Like, I think what was cute about him is he would slowly grow to be a better person.
Right.
But I think we loved him because he was inherently flawed.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to be Barney really because he didn't really have true hope. But he was happy.
He was happy.
Isn't that what
Barney was like an
matters?
inventor. Barney was like, I always thought Barney was like the, obviously he was the better of the humans.
Yeah.
But also like generally he was stronger than Fred and he was more inventive than Fred. He had an earnestness that
Right.
allowed Fred to take advantage of him.
Yes.
Oh.
I had a summer where I was left alone without supervision. And I spent the entire summer hanging out with my friends in the day and not going to bed and staying up all night and watching late night TV.
Mhm.
And at that time, The Honeymooners was on at like 2 a.m. and that was the goal of my day. And then Jess and I tried to watch The Honeymooners in the last year or so, and it's not funny.
Yeah, and
I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, like Jackie Gleason, right?
What a monster.
Yeah.
I think you were like a kid though, like when you're
I
young.
still don't know why
Yeah.
it was funny to me as
Yeah.
a kid. It was
He
awful.
was loud and bombastic.
Like, to the moon, right?
To the moon, Alice.
To the moon.
Yeah, Alice. That's right. That's right. I wonder. I know you can get the Flintstones, like the whole.
No, we have the Flintstones. Felix would watch the Flintstones all the time.
Well, you have the Flintstones?
Yeah, we own seasons of the Flintstones.
Oh, I want to check it out. I want to check it out.
I think
How
we
much
have
money
it
on
on
the
Apple TV.
So Felix likes the Flintstones, I think.
He loves the Flintstones.
Oh, that's. Well, he's got Dino now, and now you got Fred.
That was a phase, though. I wonder if he even remembers that phase.
I hope so. The Flintstones.
He probably does. That
is honestly all ages, I think.
There's 145 full episodes of the Flintstones on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yep, so you don't got A for nothing.
So I don't.
Hey,
Oh, right.
well, I think we did, but how many episodes are there of the Flintstones?
I have no idea.
I'll look it up in a second.
I had a client that used to watch Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner on YouTube. All that stuff is all on there.
Oh, they still have chewable vitamins. I bet they're
Those
really
are
good.
166,
How many did you say were on YouTube?
145. It's not bad.
Where are the missing 20?
Who knows? They probably got racism.
Oh,
Or
and smoking.
cigarette commercials.
Yeah, smoking.
100%.
Yeah, 144, I think.
I actually, for some reason, own a copy of a black and white video. I think it was like Bang TV or something. And it had black and white episode of when it was on TV in black and white.
Right.
And
Me
there,
and my Winston, we got a real good thing.
yeah. And the fellas are out in the yard smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, Winston's, right?
Lucky Strikes.
Is it Lucky Strike?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's they did a couple of cigarette commercials. It's like nothing like your childhood heroes selling cigarettes to kids, right? So,
Not too far away.
Well, I don't know if they're selling them specifically to kids back then, because the Flintstones was an adult
yeah,
syndicated show like The Simpsons.
yeah,
But they weren't like avoiding the kids.
no. Well, it's kind of like Popeye cigarettes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I started art school at the time when they just started cracking down on cigarettes and art funding.
mm-hmm.
And first of all, most of the artists were smokers, but second of all, a lot of the arts funding happened through cigarettes.
Yes.
So,
Well, there was an uproar when they first banned it.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
motor racing as well. Or did that hold on?
Oh, you can't like they
With
can't
cigarettes.
sponsor the Spruce Meadows deals anymore or any like
Right.
not even horse jumping, which no kids love. Or few kids.
Well, in Cochrane,
True.
everybody's got a horse in Cochrane.
Well, I know the
That's a medal of its
Danes.
own.
You've heard of the Danes name, right?
The
Like-
what, sorry?
Ivan Danes and Franklin Danes and like they own like half of Innisfail, half Olds. And they have a
Like the
rodeo
Brossos
every
in
year in
Bonneville.
Innisfail.
What, sorry?
They have a rodeo every year as well
Okay.
in Innisfail. And it's gigantic. Like bigger than the Strathmore one, which is pretty big. I mean, I'm not a big
What I
rodeo
know about
fan, but-
Innisfail is I rode my bicycle to Edmonton, and that's where I stopped the first night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Yeah, it's a horrible place. Well, it was.
I got to Innisfail at 6 in the evening,
Yep.
and there was a campsite that was like kind of an in-town campsite,
Yeah. Okay.
and I'd left at 6 in the morning, so I was up early. And I kind of had it in my mind that I would get to Bowden the first day. I think I went past Bowden and stopped in Innisfail.
Mm,
I probably should have kept going through Red Deer and camped much later, because I kind of imagined like, oh, well, got my backpack and my tent on my bicycle, and I made it as far as Innisfail, and maybe I'll pack it in and have a camp out.
hmm
Set up my tent, took a shower, ate dinner. It was 6:15. That's like I only ate 15 minutes.
Oh, you're. Wow.
And so then there were people in the campsite next to me having like a cookout.
Mm,
I'd biked all day, so I was quite tired. But I had like 4 hours before the sun went down. I just sat there in my tent waiting to go to sleep.
right.
Luckily, I was tired enough that I didn't mind sitting doing nothing, but normally that would kill me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a good guy who, if I don't fall asleep, I have a hard time, like starting something, like
Yeah.
again, like we're getting back at what I just packed up,
Yeah.
which I should do.
But to get back on your bike and keep going if you stopped. It's like
Oh yeah,
that
no,
would
I
be-
wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
Like I actually could barely move because I biked from.
Because you
Calgary.
for like
Yeah.
12 hours.
I
Yeah.
wasn't in great shape.
Yeah.
It was an idea I had back when I was cycling. And then I wasn't even cycling. And then the opportunity to go came right before I went back to get my. Is it right before I got my? No, I went to go get my writing certificate. And
Right.
it seemed like I could get journaling, and
Like on the road.
yeah, and I did start journaling on the road. But
Right.
when I got on my bike, tires were flat because I've been sitting long enough, which is an indication that
Does anybody know the Wi-Fi?
yeah, it's Rumble House
And there's a guest.
guest, and I don't think there's a password. You just click it.
Got it, thank you.
So you've been journaling since then,
Um,
or on and off, or
no,
because I have like 30,000.
I've never kept
30,000
like a-
pages.
I've never kept like a organized journal. I do sketchbooks.
Yeah, well
But
that's
I wrote a 19-page story about
Mhm.
riding my bike too, and
Right.
and then I would have written. That semester I was in a writing program that had 7 courses a semester,
right, right.
and so I think I came out of that program with a pretty strong portfolio of short
Mhm.
stories and scripts and things.
Right. Well, when I read my journals, it's like I must have been on acid or something.
Were you though?
Probably.
Probably.
Well, a little bit of
Little bit.
once in a while. Yeah. Maybe more mushrooms than actually LSD. My brother was a bad influence. See, I'm gonna blame us now. Can't be me. You know what I mean? How could that be possible?
Welcome.
Hello.
You snuck in like you're late for class. There's no detention. It's good to see you.
So Jess, I heard you saying about your embroidering, your cool little.
Yeah, I
Oh
so
wow!
I had this all in a book.
Yeah.
And so this was in this book, but then I was like,
Mhm.
you know, when something's in a book and then you kind of like it disappears. So I
Yeah.
actually started cutting it apart and putting it on a jacket. And so it was like
I love it.
and then because I want to like this is like this whole foot. I really love this piece. I might just like
Yeah.
frame it or keep. I don't know.
Ask if you still talk to
But
me.
yeah, so there's like I have all these pieces that I want to like be able to see more often, I
Yeah.
guess. And so I'm stitching them on this jacket, and I'm gonna do like embroider stars and everything like around
Right.
it all. So
Right.
yeah, I think it'll be really fun.
That is really wild.
I had an idea of doing this on like a cloak, but I was like, I don't really wear cloaks, but I wear jackets all the time. So I was like, that would be kind of like more, like more usable and
Yeah.
like more in my world. And then
It's so unique.
I think it'll be pretty
Wow.
fun.
You're the only one, and you know what that reminds me of is those duty suits, like you know the embroidered suits,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Graham
yeah.
Parsons with
Oh,
marijuana leaves, and,
Totally,
like
yeah.
little pills, but they made it
Yeah.
for all the westerns. Well, not
Oh,
all the westerns.
okay. Yeah.
Like George Jones and
Cool.
those guys.
I like that.
Yeah, I like those. But I like Graham Parsons or Graham. I don't know. I'm not even sure exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like
The era. At least.
Yeah.
That's cool.
like music that when I was like maybe
Do those
5 years
things
old
work
or
together in
something.
any way?
Fun.
Wasn't listening to it back. Well, maybe I was.
Yeah, that's the thing is like when it's
Like my mom used to buy it.
I mean, especially for microdose.
Like she got my brother into music and me.
Yeah.
And then my brother got me into like all sorts of like Beatles,
Mhm.
like everything. Like David Bowie. Oh, it went on and on and on. It was such a great time. Like I can really say my childhood was pretty good.
That's awesome. That is.
Yeah.
That's pretty magic.
Oh, the glass work is going over well.
That's so
Like I
nice.
give him 2 pieces away and it's like
and drum and bass.
That's so
Whoa.
awesome. That's so fun. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's just
What
like
a nice
standing
gift to be able
boring,
to give.
The same
very nice.
hooky thing over and over and over again.
Oh, I thought you were gonna tell me there's something that's like not
So is this an old sign?
Yeah, I think that's an old screen print, and then Rich was showing that last week, and so
Yeah, I was gonna
There
say,
there's trends, right? So the current trend is kind of gross,
Yeah.
but it makes all the old stuff even better.
I like.
Wow, this is so,
I know.
this is so
What are the
cartoonish.
parameters of drum and bass?
Oh,
It's
So
the amen
nice.
beat.
wow.
That's
Yeah, there's
about
just so many different like pieces of artifacts
Mhm.
in this
I mean,
space.
like,
Like
I
that's
would
what we're
recognize
finding
drum
is
and
like
bass.
artifacts
I don't know
everywhere. We're
where I
like
would
looking
draw
through the
line
space,
if it was
cleaning,
not drum
and it's just like so many
I think
stacks
most
of
people,
things
it
that we
literally
need to
is just like a
remember,
break beat
Oh,
and
you
like
guys
moments
have
we need to remember.
so much
a little bit of,
memorabilia.
Yeah.
copy lesson.
Gorilla House and Rumble House.
Yeah.
So great. No.
Music.
Yeah, we haven't had a little.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I took mine today. This is.
Yeah. I was thinking of something like, you're just doing it. I don't need to like sit here on my phone.
I was gonna say something exciting musically about drum and bass. That wasn't exactly drum and bass, but it was drum and bass.
Mhm.
Maybe I was thinking about math rock. Math happening in math rock.
Not really.
It's funny how like, I mean, there's this video where Lars was kind of sucking up to Dave Grohl. Like, dude, it's been just us for the last 30 years.
That's so silly.
Yeah.
Midwest emo is really big right now, which is technically emo, but like it's more lullaby-y.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Midwest
Midwest emo.
emo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where do you retrieve this? Where do you find it?
Where do I find? I'm not 20 years old anymore, so I'm on Spotify and some forums. Forums still exist.
I have never used Spotify.
Yeah.
My lovely daughter keeps recording things and publishing to Spotify and sending them to me, but it's like I kind of, it's not that I'm anti-technology. I love my vinyl. When I get an opportunity to buy a record that comes with a download,
Yeah.
I'll give that download away. Sully my music collection by having it on my phone.
Well, your phone, I have a device that carries the maximum 192.24.
Yeah.
And it's, I would say as good as vinyl. At least good.
Yeah. So okay,
Yeah.
but when you put your music on there, are you getting like high? What are you listening to on it?
Well, really high end music is only recorded. Like, let's
How do you
say,
get it? Like, how do you retrieve it? Where do you?
well, you just download it, like, but you
Where
pay for
are
it,
you downloading it from?
like from Pro Studios, which is
Okay.
out of Canada.
And
There's
they have a full catalog.
HD tracks.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Neil Young's site, he
Right.
sells all his stuff on the highest resolution that he recorded at.
Are you kind of limited in any way by the format you're listening to? Like, can you get anybody?
No, not, but it's happening.
I'm limited in the sense that my music consumption comes through vinyl.
Right.
But there's a couple of decades of stuff that isn't good on vinyl. So
Oh, yeah, I mean, stuff when
I'm
digital
not gonna
first started,
download
it's horrible. But it's even
Primus
worse.
on, I'm not gonna buy a Primus on vinyl or, who's the, what's that Australian band that, I like.
In excess?
No, I hated excess.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Inxus. There you go.
No, Caius. Are they Australian?
Caius, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting Caius on
No,
vinyl.
no.
I'll wreck my needle.
Just wreck your.
I have an album coming out on Spotify next week. Will you download Spotify for me?
I haven't for Robin yet.
Well, I'm not Robin. I'm asking.
Well, you're here. You might give me a harder time than she is. She's in England, so I've been able to. But here's my trouble with Spotify, and it's just a weird bias I have. I teach these kids, and I see them with headphones on. I immediately think, oh, we have something in common now. I can talk to this. I didn't think I understood this kid before, but I see them distracted with headphones on. Now I know we have something in common. And I say, what are you listening to? And they go, music. And they go, no, but what are you listening to? And they go, what music?
Yeah.
But they
And
have,
it's just look on their
that's TikTok's fault.
But they're offended that I asked them, why is there a TikTok thing where kids like refuse to acknowledge that they listen to musicians or?
No, I mean the way that TikTok serves music to be, you don't think of a song as a song. You think of it as the 7 seconds that it's usable as a hook. And so songs are just 7-second hooks. And
Well,
so
they're listening
kids
to
don't
whole
know what anything is.
songs, but they don't listen to whole albums and they don't know who they're
I won't
listening
even
to.
tell you my
And they're
first
not
concert.
interested in knowing who made the songs.
No.
What's happening?
I was talking to Sandra.
Your first concert?
She said that In Excess was her first concert.
Mine was
Oh,
Anne
really?
Murray.
Mine
What was
was
it?
Savage Garden.
Oh, really? Mine was Devo. First album.
Wait, you know what? Are
Crazy.
we apologizing or are we laughing? Or are
I
we
don't
celebrating?
Sandra said In Excess was my first concert, which was
Oh, no.
laughing, and then I was like, mine was Savage Garden.
My
I don't
first concert was Captain and Tennille. I was 3 years old.
That's
My mom took me
epic.
to the Klondike Days.
Okay, but that's cool.
Oh,
You were
wow.
3 and you were at your first
Yeah,
concert.
Captain and Tennille.
I'm not counting like the Coke stage and
I
stuff.
was 8.
Yeah, we'll count the
At
folks.
Jubilee Auditorium, I had opera classes to watch Anne Murray sing.
I
I can
love
see
Anne
clearly
Murray.
now.
I like
Okay, so what
learned
did
how
you
to
say
sing
your first
from
was?
Anne Murray.
That's what it was.
That was it?
That is it. Yeah, that was
You
my
didn't
grandmother.
change it?
A
That's-
Johnny
I just
Nash
poured
album.
My
snow.
first real concert was Eric Clapton. But if I'm being honest, I went to
Nice. The what?
Well, I didn't have control over this situation. So after the experience I had.
Hi.
What did I just
Have
say?
you, good, how are you?
My next experience was.
Have you guys been in
my sister
before?
was going
I'm sorry?
to,
Have you guys been in before?
No, we was just coming to check it out. We're not
Oh.
gonna. But yeah.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm Jessica and that's Rich. And then, so we this is our 500 and
Yes. Been following the journey for a while.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw you at the TED Talk actually.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah, I was
thank
gonna say
you.
you both.
And I'm a
familiar
teacher with
to me.
CBE. We've chatted a few
Oh,
times.
okay, yeah,
before at
because you did
different
look
events.
familiar, and then
Yeah,
I
I
was like,
volunteer at Contemporary.
oh, that's awesome. Oh, very nice. I'm glad you guys could make it down.
Yeah, it was like they only have like 26 more or something. We have to get down there. 32
Until
more.
December, yeah. So we're up online, and then
Very cool.
we never know who's coming, so it's really nice to see whenever people pop in. And then the themes tonight were Rhiannon, the Welsh goddess, the adventure, and then bears from the tarot cards.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
was pretty fun because all the videos are popping up from them waking up, and it's
Nice.
just
That's great.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, no
We'll have to come
problem.
for an is the auction at a set time?
Auction's at 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's online too. So like if you're
Awesome.
out and about, you can come back, or it's also online and people like text in and it's hilarious.
Are you guys heading somewhere right now?
Yeah, we're just gonna go to Taylor Dinners for a drink.
What's a tail dinner? Oh, are you going
Here.
home afterwards?
Probably.
Because what I was gonna say is if I could entice you to come back to the auction tonight, I'll write you a $50 gift card.
Wow.
But it's a one night only.
All right.
Do you
Sounds
want
good. Will you go talk about it and let you know?
Why don't you take it
We're
with
meeting
you
some people, so
and tear it up if you don't come back?
Sure.
How's that?
sounds
Or
good.
you can even send them here with it.
Perfect.
So the only thing I ask is please don't redeem this for cash. Because like there's situations where there's that one.
Oh, I recognize those visual journals.
I do a lot of
Teacher
recycling.
Lee.
Actually, what's funny is I've got 30 school desks in here that came from.
Oh, no way.
the,
I could sure use those in my class. I have kids sitting on the floor because I don't have enough chairs.
you can have them when we're done.
Oh, that'd be
They
awesome.
came from Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Use
no
them
way.
in
People
the-
kept
yeah.
coming in to visit us during COVID, and we had a non-disclosure with Russ City, which was really Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
And so people kept coming in, especially teachers, and like, "Oh, I know where you got those desks." And I was like, "Yeah, but we're not supposed to talk about it." They thought I was saying I stole them. They thought
Yeah.
I stole a classroom full of desks.
That's so funny.
I'm like, I'm impressed that you think I'm that savvy, but
Yeah.
Rollos. $50.
Perfect.
What's the date today? April.
10th.
What's my daughter's
It's
birthday?
at 9.
What's next Wednesday?
The 17th.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Your birthday gift.
You
Look
know,
at that. That one we can make work for sure. Yeah, that one we can miss you. Thanks, Rich. It's nice to meet you guys
That's
again in
fun
your
to see, like-
natural habitat.
Right?
Did I hear you were retiring too? Did I see that? Or leaving? What?
No,
You're making
teaching. I got about 7 years left.
Oh, okay.
I think I was probably speculating that I'm going to retire about 7 years before Jess does.
Oh, okay.
And so I might spend the last 7 years of teaching, when she's teaching, just hanging out in her classroom. Like some lucky school's going to get us.
There you go. Are you both teachers?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. Are you UCB too?
Calgary Catholic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Whereabouts?
In Arbor Lake, St. Ambrose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I've been up in the
What school are you
Northeast. I'm at Pine Ridge this year. I was at Guy Weedick for 13 years. Though.
What grade do you teach, or what subject, I should say?
I teach grade 5 and then I'm also a learning leader.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually would like to teach 1 year grade 5 before I retire. That's probably what I
We're hiring next year. Keep your eye out. We just hired 3 positions in the early rounds. So yeah, I just tell my principal to keep his eye out for your name if you'd like.
for my crazy ass.
You should come. It's weird. We're in a weird pocket because we're overflow, but only for grade 5 and 6. So like over 3/4 of our school is just grade 5 and 6.
That's insane.
So it's an interesting kind of
What area is it in?
Pine Ridge.
I don't know where that is though.
It's like deep in the depths of the Northeast. You know,
Okay.
be prepared.
I currently
It's
teach in Concord.
68 and 16. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Just north
I
of
know.
Forest Lawn. Yeah.
I currently teach in Concord, so it's
Oh, okay.
not farther than when I am now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just about the same.
Yeah.
I have no traffic, so that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you also a teacher?
No,
What do you do?
dispersion modeling,
A what?
He makes art too.
pollution dispersion modeling. So
That's
like
cool.
the radius. So,
Where did you go to school, if you don't mind me asking? Did you go
high
both
school
Calgary?
or
Well, high school or
I went to
where?
Queenie.
And then, like, I'm 52. Are you around that age, or
No, I'm 37.
are you really 37 with the grade?
Doesn't he look distinguished?
I just shit my pants.
I'm also
Are you really
37.
37?
Yeah.
No, I thought we're the same age. I guess I just really insulted you.
Okay.
I might as well take this back.
Can make it
I'm
even
so
100.
sorry.
I have
Totally kidding.
Yeah.
Um,
When did you start going great?
like 5 years ago.
Did you look 17 until you were 30 and then you started going great?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I went from like looking like a teenager, I turned 30, and all of a sudden I looked like I was, I kind of looked the same for the last 30 years. But
That's funny.
yeah.
Oh man.
It's
right.
pretty dramatic, actually.
Yeah.
Did you have a shock?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
A few
I didn't teach
Stop.
then,
You
did I?
started this
Did you look at
today?
Queenie?
No, I mean,
You
collectively.
don't?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a number of
I
hours.
don't
Did I live
like
around
you.
here?
I couldn't tell you.
Like 7. I'm like,
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
yeah.
Because we live a block from you.
Okay, so that's all through this area on the way to my office.
For sure, I've seen you just on the block, yeah. I have this problem where I never forget a face. My first year teaching. Oh, okay, so Neil, I was just telling Neil that I rode my bicycle to Edmonton right before I started teaching. And I contacted, in the early days, before Facebook, highschool.com or something like this.
Right.
I just saw this guy, Jason Burek, that I went to school with when I was in grade 2. And I contacted him, I was like, hey dude, it was like right after the 10-year reunion. He was like, we were asking about you at the 10-year reunion because they're like, whatever happened to that weird kid in grade 2? So Jason Bierek and I were best friends from like 0 to 7 years old. I hadn't seen him in 23 years. Didn't really have much to say to him. We didn't really have much in common. I started teaching 2 months later, and this guy walks into work, and my brand new school, and I look at this guy's like, dude, I know your face from somewhere. He's like, no, you don't. I'm from Edmonton. I'm like, no, I guess I don't. 6 months later, he tells me he's not from Edmonton. He's from St. Albert, which is where I lived till I was 7. I live in St. Albert.
Grove.
And I go, the funny thing, yeah. And so the funny thing is, I just spoke to this guy, Jason Bierek. He's like, I know Jason Bierek. I used to fist fight him at the bus stop. Maybe we used to fist fight. And I was like, well, no, because I moved away before we were taking the bus. I only lived there till grade 2. And he's like, oh, I was best friends with Jason Bierek in grade 2. I was like,
Yeah.
Batman Flippy Flyer. He's like, what? No, that wasn't me. I was like, yes, it was. I remembered his face. We were together for 2 hours in the late 70s. And I was at Jason Bierek's birthday party. He gave Jason Bierek a Batman Flippy Flyer, changed his mind, wanted to take it home and cried. And I remembered it for 23 years. And then I've been at the same school for 6 years. And my best friend Kevin, like if you ask him, he hated me when we met. And the reason he says he hated me, I'm annoying is why he hates me. But he said he hated me because I said to him when I met him, oh, I know your face from somewhere. I know I gotta stop talking to you.
No, that's okay. I didn't realize that it's there already.
It's there.
Yeah, you better.
Right. So I said to this guy, I know your face from somewhere. He didn't believe me. And then finally, I convinced him that I knew him from somewhere. He was sure that I didn't. And then we talked together for 6 years, and he tells a story about how I wouldn't shut up about how I knew him from somewhere. They gave us our 15-year award on the same day. I'm like, what year did you start teaching? He's like, 2004. I'm like, what university did you go to? He said, UC. I'm like, dude, we were both in the art stream together, you asshole.
There you go.
So, we were in school together, and he
That's so funny.
mocked me for
Yeah.
remembering.
Oh man. That's funny. Awesome. Well, it was great to see you.
Yeah,
Nice to meet
nice
you
meeting
for
you.
sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, you're
Have a good night, you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
See you.
Nice meeting you guys.
Have a good night.
I did the thing where I talked too long.
You're
Usually
cute.
Jess is close enough to kick me.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Everything will work out just fine.
I just really like the story about Jason Bierek, though.
Well, that's
Anybody who listens.
like people who I run into, like, always remember. But then I saw this guy at the bar, and I go, Richard Coneybear. This is when I was like 30. We went to grade 5 together.
Right.
And we were best friends. I was at his house all the time.
And he did,
Didn't remember my name, didn't
Yeah.
remember any of my
That's
our
right.
friends.
Dude, you wrote a gray Huffy. You owe me $50.
Yeah.
Like, what? I did have a gray Huffy.
No, it's sometimes strange. Like, it's like, no, we did this, and this. Oh,
They don't remember
your
anything.
memory's gone. Okay,
How come you aren't as autistic as me?
that's right.
That's right.
That's right.
It is a contest.
Okay. See, I told you I would set this up, right? Red's, he's backwards on the coffee cup. That's where he belongs. Like on or something. It looks like he needs iron.
Did Fred and Barney drink beer?
No, not. Oh, they
Was that
drank
part of
some
that?
that looked like beer, but in cans.
Right, would it have been like
Dino piss.
Like it was no name.
what did you say?
Dino piss.
That's like funny, but
frothing
somehow-
mug.
Well, it wasn't
Somehow kind of filthy too. Like,
like I'll see, like because something reminds me that we were drinking beer.
I think early days they probably were.
fermented
Oh.
dino piss.
I would almost guarantee it.
How much time do we have left, Jesse baby?
45 minutes.
Okay.
That's a long time still.
We're doing good.
I'd like to thank everybody that showed up tonight. At 7 o'clock, the room was empty, and I really started to panic.
We weren't normal.
Oh man,
Mhm.
I think they're drinking beer. See, this is what I remember. Rick.
Yeah.
Is this what you remember? Like, it was
Yeah.
nondescript,
Oh, yeah.
but that's definitely a beer bottle.
This,
Like amber,
manipulation.
or what do you call that? Type of glass?
Yeah.
Well, not
Just mud glass? Yeah.
High school, so
Okay.
a pint.
So
Yeah.
you're kind of like you think you're not. Well, you think like people
Yeah.
your brain gonna think like
For sure, yeah.
I think this is gonna be one of those nights when my crappy painting comes out. I'm not gonna tell anybody this is my crappy painting. But I definitely have a crappy painting and a good painting tonight.
in the school, you know, like
Hey, Rich, it's called block beer.
Nice,
There you go. That makes sense because everything's flint and you know what I mean.
yeah,
Mr. Slate and whatever.
everything's personified to the,
Stone and granite and oh yeah.
yeah, Stone Age.
Yeah, remember how what was Fred's boss's Mr. Slate? There was a little short Mr. Slate.
Joe Rockhead
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, but there was two Mr.
and
Slates.
Murdoch.
Yeah, and Murdoch. I remember that. Remember when? Yeah, they ended up on stage together, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
At the Hollywood Bowl.
So funny.
you
The
know,
thing that
I
sticks
have
in
a,
my
I
mind
have
is
a
when they
smaller
fell
one
in
in
the
the
bar.
car,
Oh yeah.
like from kinder.
Oh my gosh. That's cute.
You have Fred?
Yeah, I have Fred, but he's like from kinder.
Oh, well that's cool. Any Fred is good with me.
From where?
Like Kinder
Flintstone.
Oh, what a Kinder Egg.
Yeah.
You mean
Kinder.
what?
Oh yeah, yeah.
in his car.
Oh, okay.
There is a theory that Flintstone and Jackson, they are the
The
same
Jetsons.
universe.
Yes.
Except that one is in the future, like they live in the clouds, and one
Yeah.
is on the earth where it's like prehistoric.
Well, George Jetson looks
That's
like
right.
Joe Rockhead. He's the same animated character. And Mr. Slate, I think, or what was the boss in the Jetsons?
Yeah, the little short guy?
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
that built off of Barney?
Yeah.
They
Oh, yeah.
recycled a lot. Like those were actually frames from the original and characters that
Yeah.
they would reuse. Who played what did Fred get turned into? Hey. You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here.
Do I now?
Are you just done
I
as a
love your
master?
hat.
Thank you.
That's
Not quite yet, just about though.
Cool.
Figured I'd pop in. It's been a minute.
Nice to see you.
Where did you come from?
Just from school.
Okay, so I'm glad you didn't drive all the way from Cochrane.
Nope.
You're at State. You live in Calgary?
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, I've been living at Safe the last year.
Oh, you live in. Do you live in the building?
Yeah, I live at Res.
In
What
the
floor?
walls.
In the
9th.
wall.
So, I never lived there, but I used to crash there a lot in the
ACAD days.
yeah. And I just remember it was stinking hot. Are the heaters on full blast all night in the winter?
Always.
Do you like break the rules and keep the
Pretty
window
much,
open?
yeah, because I can't. I don't
Only
have
until they
the
call
so
me
I
at
just
3
sit
o'clock in the morning, telling me to close the window, or else I get fined $200.
How do they know that your window's open?
They send somebody outside. They count the floors and count the windows.
Oh, sons of bitches.
Yeah.
I used to make
I did something kind of like that. This is so
Rich gave me
stupid. I
something
shouldn't
once,
say
and
it.
it was like
I took a
a
laser
but they were
pointer and I
all
was just
like
playing with it out my
the
window.
size of
I had it
Oh,
for like 2 years.
wow.
I did not
So I
allow
would
myself
with
to play
it
with
was
it.
like a meditation thing, so like put
I'll
on
close
the
my eye to the mic.
and then like
Um, just for fun, I bounced it off the back of a train as it went by. I just wanted to see it moving.
Right.
And then after I did such a thing, I realized, oh, that was really stupid because I bet you trains function under the same travel act as airplanes. If you bounce a laser pointer in a plane, you go to prison
trying to communicate
5 years or a $500,000 fine.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, well, you know, like I've been downtown before where I see a little light following me around. You can't track it back to where it's coming from. So I thought I'm probably pretty safe. It was super foggy that night. And so,
When we go to this
10
movie,
minutes after I
which
vanished
is
the
about
stupid
people
light off the
famous
train,
or
which I
whatever.
shouldn't have done and I deeply regretted. I want to say it was an accident, so much as it was just a lapse of judgment.
Yeah.
It was kind
I
of
went outside and I was like, hey, it's pretty foggy, and I shut the beam one time, and I could see for a
Yeah,
kilometer
it's
a
a
straight line from where I was. So
Oh, wow.
if there was somebody in the
Also,
caboose
I
of
really
that
like,
train,
Yeah.
they would have locked up and saw a green light that went from their train right back to my bedroom window. And they
Yeah.
could have easily, like, if they'd snapped it with their cell phone, counted the windows, come by the building, and arrested me the next day. And like, it's such a stupid thing because I don't even really. I'm telling the story wrong because I'm not even sure I hit the train. It was one of those things where I started thinking, was I too close to the train? Did I kind of bounce it off the side of the train? Wait, now I sort of think maybe I pointed at the conductor to do caboose conductor and blinded him. Like I escalated my investigation.
He didn't
And
sleep
so
if he
rewriting
was
the narrative
obsessed
to
with
worst case scenario. And then I lay there in bed waiting for the SWAT team to come and hit my door and take me for bouncing a laser light.
Wow.
So that's where I am. A user.
That's who I am.
It could be worse. Like, it could be way worse. Like,
I know, like
shoot up the air towards a plane. No, that's big trouble.
Yeah,
That's big trouble.
Yeah.
and it wasn't like
Glowing and blue and neon and beautiful.
it wasn't malicious so much as what happened was I had a friend that worked for CP Rail.
I worked for CP Rail for 5 times when I was 18.
Yeah. For 5 months?
That's it. That's
5 minutes?
for 5 months.
5 months.
Yeah. My only
So this friend of
boss.
mine and I were having coffee one day and started going on about how this kid bounced the light off the train. This is like 20 years ago. But how that he and his train friends are gonna track him down and just put him in jail. And he doesn't understand how bad that is. And that's kind of how I knew it was a bad thing, because I knew a guy that worked for the train area and had turned into a detective to try and catch this kid who bounced the light off of him. So it was only because I'd listened to this, like, I'm super conscientious driving through construction sites.
Yeah.
But it's just because I had this one friend who worked on a road crew. And she used to get really excited every time there was a cop car in the road crew, because it's suddenly like 30 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
It's double if there's workers. The
Double.
guy's just sitting there making his monthly quotas in 20 minutes.
Great.
Go get him.
Yeah.
Because when you're working on the road, you can't believe people won't slow down. But when you're late for work, you're like, what are these assholes doing on my road? So there's no winning. It's all.
Oh, I know.
I'm gonna paint him the.
A friend of mine was
airline
an
that
author, and she wrote a bunch of articles about drug usage, and she wrote a book about cannabis, and then she wrote a book about psychedelics, and she's sort of
Yeah, I worked at Vila
these
Fiar,
workshops
which
on like
was just a
tripping
horrible
together
job.
ceremonies.
Oh,
Super
It was-
fascinating.
I was out of high school and I think waiting for an opportunity, and I had 5 months so I could just go.
Just had to make a little bit of cash.
Yeah, it was alright,
Mhm.
but it was horrible.
But it was
Well, if you had to do that like,
all the
for the
time.
rest of your
Yeah.
life, it would be like slip my wrist.
What would have happened is
Or-
you would have made it until
I was in an Uber yesterday.
early 90s.
Yeah.
And you would have been bought out. There's a moment there in the 90s
For a
where
brief
everybody
minute.
that was making a certain salary
So
Mm-hmm.
was paid to go do something else.
Yeah.
And they kind of
That's
started
why I used
out
to be a social
from
worker.
scratch. And I don't think anybody really stuck it out.
But then I
There's sort of a span of time where it was just almost impossible to stay in that industry. Because they just made a decision to buy out everybody that was there and hire a bunch of new people.
Uh-huh.
Survive. Yeah.
Now you might have been had the savvy to go, no, I'm gonna stick this baby out.
Well, I remember my story. Everybody who starts has to work the afternoon 4 to 12 or 12 to midnight till 8. And I'm like, well, I'll go to school and I'll have to study. So I have to have the weekend. And I gotta wait.
Yeah, my friend Sean's really smart. He got a job working in a parking lot.
Yeah.
And he worked there for years. And he worked all the time. But it was like 25 minutes of work and then 8 hours just sitting in a booth to do his study.
Well, that's not horrible.
So it's a pretty smart college.
Yeah.
I wasn't smart.
What happens if you give away a mushroom?
Yeah. When my daughter was going to university, we had the merry-go-round at Chinook Center. So she got to pick her hours, which was ideal.
Oh, that's nice.
So I met your daughter because Oliver loved that merry-go-round, and I think
Yeah.
he did right up until about the time that I met you.
Right,
And you were kind enough to give us some tickets, and that was kind of the year that you kind of outgrew it.
right.
We did use all those tickets, but it wasn't like the same magic as like the year
No.
before. And maybe even having those tickets kind of made it accessible enough that,
Sure.
you know, if I let him go on the merry-go-round, it's like the best day of the year for him.
Wow. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Pretty cool thing.
And not actually, this was kind of new. Mostly I did the circles for the longest time.
You know who
And
has
just,
that? The
desire to do a
Southerns
different shape.
from
It was like one of the things.
APCO.
Yeah, they have the merry-go-round.
Yeah, bought it.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What's the name again?
Like Nancy Southern and
Southern?
Yeah,
Ron
the circles came
Southern, I
before.
think, like
yeah.
the APCO people, like, but she's on the Trilateral Commission. She's a real power broker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically,
Which-
I was coming here, and
I didn't like her just for that alone.
Are you capable of painting or
They
drawing?
paid good money for it, so. but-
Do you wish you could, you know, what that feels like? Yeah, so it's like so frustrating to be like, I can feel it in my brain. What I want to do. And
It was like a
I have
1923
ADHD, like if I can't do it
carousel,
immediately,
like,
I never want
with
to.
real wood horses,
And
real
so,
leather saddles. And,
Yeah, it was beautiful.
like,
maybe that's
Yeah,
the thing.
was that also, it was in that movie, right?
Yeah, actually, that's a
Oh, it's in a
I'll-
couple.
I'll write a book about
Like
it.
Something Wicked This Way Comes?
Yes,
this
yeah,
specifically
it was,
came
yeah, and it was in another movie,
I
but
think I was
it wasn't
here
well
doing
known. What the
some
heck
other
was
drawing,
that?
and somebody came over. I think what I thought was,
Yeah,
Miz
I
or something?
don't
but
want
Chinook
to take the time to
made
get
all
good
these
at drawing,
decisions
but
for us.
I'm willing to take the time
Which
to
kinda
sit here
meant
and draw circles over and
us a
over and
little
over again. And maybe
But,
that is
you know,
valuable
it
to
doesn't
somebody
hurt.
in the same way. Yeah.
Did you have that up until COVID, or did you ever do it before COVID?
Before COVID. Yeah, which was good timing.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Oh, perfect, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so much.
Well, Chinook was redoing their food court,
Right.
and it was like, well, you gotta take it out of here. Well, we go, well, if we're taking it out, we're not bringing it back.
Like throwing things at the walls.
So we
Each time I
took it
started
down
doing
to
circles,
Fish
yeah.
Meadows
Yeah.
and,
How did you move such a thing?
well, you have to bring in people from Ontario.
Okay.
Because even if you wanted parts, they had to be machined
Right.
for a little cog or something, like, oh, it was super expensive to maintain. Like the
Did it
leather
make
work.
good money?
Yeah, like,
Mhm.
there'd be 500 riders a day at, let's say, an average of
Yeah.
350, because we went from 3 to 4
I had
bucks.
that with caffeine.
So,
just go to sleep.
I
you
did
know,
it
not
for
crazy money, but
I do have a question about that ride.
Yeah.
I can ask you because you know the answer.
yeah, we probably will, yeah.
Was there a consistent number of laps it was supposed to do?
Well, no, it kind of depended on, like, at the Stampede, how much of a lineup there was.
Gotcha.
So it was pretty much at the operator's discretion.
Because I felt like sometimes it went like
Oh,
Actually, what I think I
absolutely.
wanna do
forever.
is- But the funny thing is that.
And the other times was
I
like,
think that I'm going to-
Okay, well, come on. Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sort of feel like probably a lot of times rather than people
Oh,
appreciating
yeah, the
that
woodwork.
they got an extra 4 laps last time,
That is a thing.
they
that
start
I
to
have
like
not-
begrudge that they only got
But I just
6
also
laps
don't
this
know
time.
how
Yeah.
tight of a-
So,
how tight of
but
a-
I wondered what the normal number was because with my mood swings,
Right.
time's not consistent for me. And I'm like, wow, that seemed a lot shorter last time. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to get off. It's like, you keep going.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I'm getting dizzy.
Just bleeding all over.
What's that?
Yeah, those days you can be
8:30-ish.
Yeah.
So are there a lot of pieces, Jess?
Oh yes, there's lots of good pieces.
Okay. You know, you don't have to sell my piece this weekend.
Oh no, like there's some like
See the greens?
there. We'll see how many. I like putting in new pieces, like, and
Yeah.
then we have some pieces from before, so
Yeah.
I'd rather put in some new pieces
Like
every
some
week.
fresh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
It's good to have a good mix. Yeah.
It's a little brisk, but
Yeah,
There'll be a,
I had to close the door. I was like,
there'll be a Kate Bush fan out there, I think.
oh, for sure, especially amongst our crowd.
Yeah.
I love your hat.
thank you.
It's traditional, right?
Yeah.
Is it traditional?
Yeah, I got it from a powwow in Musqueam about a year and a bit ago, 2 years.
Nice.
Well,
It really looks good on you.
Got it in a $10 raffle,
Wow.
valued at $220.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Wow.
the beadwork's gorgeous.
Beadwork alone took 70 hours to make.
Oh my gosh. You,
Definite win on my part.
yeah.
do you want to hear a crazy story?
Yes.
Always.
Okay, Conklin Shows runs a raffle every year
Yeah.
for a new Harley Davidson. So you can take $20,000
Yeah.
for the Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Well, my brother was third in charge.
Yeah.
Only two Conklins before.
Yeah.
Well, guess who won? I did. How's that look?
How does that look?
Or did you get to have it?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
I'm like,
Didn't make any friends, but
No.
who cares?
everybody is just laughing.
In my life, it would have been like, oh, you won, but you can't have it because you're too close to the source. I'm like, no.
Why did you let me buy
No,
a ticket?
Conklin people were just like laughing. They're just like, this is impossible.
What is the
How many
odds?
people here have worked for Conklin? Just me? Used to be everybody. Used to be like, if a room was this full,
Yeah.
you'd say like 70% of the.
Yeah.
You know, you ever worked for Conklin?
What?
Conklin.
Like
The
amusement.
fairground?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it would have been absolutely everybody's first job was Conklin. Not McDonald's. You got a McDonald's job
They should have.
after you put summer in at the Stampede.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I only worked one
So I use
season
like
there, but
either fucking plastic.
it's
It's
still
funny that I say that, but I was just thinking about how I worked for Conklin, but it wasn't Conklin that I worked for.
right.
I worked near Conklin. I worked for
And or I use
the Chuck Wagon restaurant.
Oh, so for the Stampede.
Yeah.
Use the same.
Yeah.
But that's where I got to. That's where I got to know my first Kearney friends.
Right. Oh yeah. Kearney folk are different folk.
Are
Oh,
different folk.
Yeah, yeah.
You said that so diplomatic.
Well, you know, you see a movie and it's just inherently understood that they're probably werewolves or vampires. And then you work at the Stampede and you're like, wow, they probably are werewolves or vampires.
Yeah. My brother.
Different set of.
Oh, you're right. My brother made up
And I have like
Kearney horror with the Conklin clown, and all these women were wearing with their blessing. I was just like, holy crap! Like, I go, Greg, this is really isn't great.
This isn't great.
No, Kearney horror. Like, I mean,
exactly.
it's almost unbelievable.
You know,
Like,
But that's what makes it believable.
yeah,
That's-
it's like, oh, yeah, I wear with like a badge of honor.
That's really funny.
Did anybody notice when we cleaned up a bit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. the bike was like,
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah. Could you use like a solder?
Yeah, where's the
bike? For the same effect, or does it have?
Yeah, grease street put it.
This has been used for years. We used this all the way through COVID to survive.
You just couldn't see it.
There's shit here,
Then I
you
might
couldn't
just
see
use my
it.
solder.
You pulled it, yeah,
Yeah.
what do you think? You pulled it.
I go to state for the color.
This is one of my longest, most difficult, wonderful students.
There we go.
There's that.
Yeah.
It truly was a pain. I redefined.
I
the
didn't
word
think of
pain.
pain at all, and I was your advocate the whole time.
Yep.
And this guy caused so much of a pain with his baseball cap
Yeah.
that his name became synonymous with "take your hat off."
Oh yeah.
And
I like that you just keep getting new hats. I like that.
I get more extravagant.
I like
hats.
that a lot.
Next step is like Slash's top hat.
Awesome.
There you go.
Awesome.
so I remember, but the first day of school, before we started on your last year, everybody came in, and you were the personification of "I'm sick of arguing about hats." It's like the name became a description for that kid wanting his hat off.
There you go.
And I was in a staff meeting, I was like, Draydenberry will be our greatest kid this year. And they're like, and then if I have to tell Drayden to take his hat off one more time, I was like, can I just say Draydenberry will be our greatest kid this year?
Yeah.
And then something else about it. And then Draydenberry and his hat, like his name came up like 60 times in the meeting. Every time his name came up, I put my hand up and was like, can I just say Draydenberry will be the best kid in our school this year? And it's like they're not listening.
Yeah.
School starts 3 days later. He comes in from being the biggest pain in the ass to the most amazingly well-behaved, most respectable class historian you ever had. Do they ever go, hey, Rich, you were sure right about Draydenberry? No.
Yeah.
What they did change was the hat rule.
What?
Last year, I was able to wear my hat. I think that's one of the bigger reasons why I was so nice that year. I finally got my way
There you
That's
go.
awesome.
after 4 years of
It's a stupid
against the
thing to
grain.
Yeah.
It's your head.
My head.
You know what else is stupid is like the dress code stuff.
Yeah.
Like if your parents buy you clothes
Yeah.
and they're comfortable with you wearing them,
Mm-hmm.
it is not my job to dress you. I'm leaving this stream.
Oh yeah.
You can do what you want to do.
Okay.
How many people we got? None?
You can dance if you want to.
Yeah.
9 people? Ooh, I was under the assumption that everybody left. Good night, everybody from Rich.
And then the other two I just gave.
So 9 months left. No, 8.5 months left till we're done here.
Right, kid.
And
Wow.
then we're gonna open up a new thing called the Isle of Rue.
I like that.
Isle of Rue! Isle of Rue!
So where do we bring the art to
For Isle of Rue?
when it's all over?
There'll be 2 places you can bring art to.
Okay.
It'll be our home, which is a block that way,
Mhm.
or the store and go. We can meet you there, or we can even meet you outside, whatever this place becomes,
Yes.
the hair salon. But once we're done this space, we're never selling anything of our own again. If
Right.
you want to sell artwork, we'll feature your work on the event.
Oh.
And you can keep 100% of what you sell.
Wow.
I'm going completely non-monetary after this space, and I'm happy to promote anybody that wants to be promoted. If you want to come and be part of the episode, you can come and be like our guest star.
Oh
The
man.
Isle of Rue will be 2 hours of art making and fun and hilarity
Yeah.
and art lessons and philosophy with a person, place, or thing. So basically, every episode we pick a person
Cheerio, everyone.
that is deserving of attention.
Great week.
Bye, Theo.
Bye, you guys.
Anybody else need to